What is temperature? What are the factors and how they affect the temperature of Pakistan? Tips on how to describe the climatic graphs and maps. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The degree of hotness or coldness of a place is called temperature. The instrument thermometer is used to record the temperature of an area. If the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius on thermometer, it will be called very hot. And if it is 18 degrees Celsius, then it will be called mild. But the question is, when can we use these words or terms like hot, very hot, cool, cold, mild, etc. For this, a temperature key is given in your book. I always suggest my students to memorize this key, because being the student of geography, it is an obligation to use proper term or words while describing the temperature of an area. And remember, expectation of examiner is not different. For example, at this moment, if I feel it is warm, it means I am sure about the temperature is between 21 to 30 degrees Celsius. According to the temperature and climate, the land of Pakistan can be divided into 4 zones, parts or region on the basis of topography, like mountains, northwestern mountains, and the plain areas, coastal area and deserts. But what are other factors and how they affect the temperature of the different parts of Pakistan? So here are the factors we'll discuss about which affect the temperature of Pakistan. Number 1 is cloud cover. Cloud cover affect the temperature to some extent. They help to lower the temperature on the Earth's surface during day times by reflecting the solar radiation in the outer space and less energy received to the Earth's surface. That is why this is how they help to reduce the temperature during daytime. But at night, these cloud cover trap the Earth's radiation and do not let the Earth to get cool. It means at night they increase the temperature of the land. A question is commonly asked by the students: why deserts are hot during days and nights are cool or mild at night? So the question is, and the answer is there. The days are usually, the desert areas have clear sky. It means the solar radiation comes and they reach on the Earth's surface and they heats up the land, and that is why the days are hot. But at night time, the Earth's radiation or the heat released from the Earth can easily go in the outer space, so the land, that is why, get cool. So this is the major reason. Next is the altitude and temperature. We already have discussed in the last lecture of rainfall that with increasing altitude, temperature decreases. Like here you can see with increasing altitude, temperature is decreasing. For example, if you are in Islamabad at the height of 540 meter above sea level, and if you start traveling towards Murree, and after 1 hour and 30 minutes journey, you will reach at the height of 2291 meter above sea level. So there will be a clear difference in the temperature. If it was mild in Islamabad, so there you will feel cool or cold. Why? Because the sea level on the lower side, if you are close to the sea, or how much you are close to the sea, the air is dense, or you can say the atmosphere is dense. Atmosphere is composed of three elements: water vapor, dust particle and gases. It means near the sea level, always the air is dense. Atmospheric components like water vapor, dust particle and gases are more. These are called heat capturing agent. They capture the solar radiation, and these heat capturing agent hold the earth radiation, which are released from the earth at the night time in the absence of sun. So they keep the land warm. But when we go higher towards the peak, or if the altitude increases, so their atmospheric layer or the components or elements of atmosphere are less or thin. You can call it air is less dense, mean the heat capturing agents like water vapor, dust particle and gases. Which gases? The heavy gases are less on the height. So that is why they cannot, or they can absorb less heat. As much the height increases, so their capability to absorb the heat is become less with the increasing altitude. For example, here I am in district Ghotki. This is 76 meter above sea level, and Multan, which is also hot, and here it is hot. Multan is also hot, which is 122 meter above sea level. On the other hand, we are going above further towards north, so Lahore, which is 217 meter above sea level. So there is a difference in temperature of district Ghotki and the Lahore. And if you compare it with the Islamabad, here I am at the height of 76 meter above sea level. If here it is very hot, so Islamabad, which is located at the height of 540 meter, so there it is hot or warm. And further the same, if you increase the height, so temperature drops. I hope the point is clear. Likewise, if you are going above to the Himalaya range, to the Nanga Parbat, which is located at the height of 8,126 meter above sea level, so there the temperature will be even less than even the Murree Hill Station. I hope the point is clear. The next factor is the latitudinal effect. Latitude. Equator is an imaginary line on the globe which divides the globe into two equal parts. The upper part is called northern hemisphere and the lower part is called southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, the total lines of latitudes are 90. Same in the southern hemisphere, 90 latitudes. It means the total latitudes are 180. And Pakistan is located in the northern hemisphere. How latitude affect the temperature? Equator is you can see this, equator is the line which faces the sun throughout the year directly. It receives direct sun rays. It receives direct sun rays throughout the year. This is the equator line. That is why the areas close to the equator have high temperature. So you can see Pakistan is not much far from the equator. So here at 0 degree, Pakistan is located right above 23 degree and 5 minutes north. Therefore, the lower Pakistan or southern Pakistan, which includes Sindh and Balochistan, has high temperature than northern Pakistan. Next is the continental effect. Continental effect is a general term which is used for those areas which are unaffected by the maritime influence. The maritime influence mean the influence of the sea. How sea can influence on the land or the climate on the land or on the temperature of the land through local winds like land and sea breezes, through seasonal winds like monsoon, winter monsoon and summer monsoon, and through prevailing winds or ocean currents. So for this I will give you an example. Jackpabad, which is the hottest city in Pakistan or district in Pakistan. So you can see it is more than 500 kilometers from Karachi. It is far away from the local winds, which are the land and sea breezes. During daytime, sea breezes blow towards the land, and the studies told they can come to the land up to 50 kilometers, and some studies told these winds can come inland up to 80 kilometers. But you can see that Jackpabad is more than 500 kilometers away from the sea. One reason, the Jackpabad being very hot. Another reason, Jackpabad is not located, is not on the direct route of the monsoon winds. During summer, the summer monsoon winds originates from Bay of Bengal and from Arabian Sea, and we have discussed from Arabian Sea the winds originates. These are secondary weak branch of the monsoon winds. These winds come towards land but only reached up to bring rain to up to Hyderabad in the lower side, in the lower Sindh. These winds do not come to the upper side of the do not bring rain to the northern Sindh. The main branch is from Arabian Sea, from Bay of Bengal. So they bring rain to the northern Pakistan mainly or northern Punjab. And as we come towards south, so gradually the monsoon rainfall decreases. So this is the area you can see. Here we have the desert, Cholistan desert, and then further extension of third desert. So this area receives little rainfall that do not affect much on the Jackpabad. It is also, the Jackpabad is unaffected by the maritime influence, whether it is through local winds or through seasonal winds which comes from sea towards land. Next is the latitude and the angle of the sun. In junior classes, you may have you have read about the summer solstice or winter solstice. During summer season, due to revolution of the earth, the northern hemisphere faces the sun, which is called high angle of the sun. When Pakistan is also located in the northern hemisphere, so it faces the sun, and the days are that is why long and the nights are short. And if it is, you can see here in the northern hemisphere during revolution, this northern hemisphere when faces the sun, so Pakistan is also located here. The north, the days are long and nights are short. But when a revolving when Earth reach on this side, which is called low angle of sun. Here you can see the southern hemisphere faces the sun. So southern hemisphere has more sunlight. So here the days are long, but on the northern hemisphere during winter season in Pakistan, we have shorter days and longer nights, because the southern hemisphere now facing the sun. I would like to give you an example, for example, why it happens. For example, अगर आप रूम में एक बल्ब लगा हो 1000 वोल्ट का या 2000 वोल्ट का, तो वो पूरे रूम को रोशन कर देता है। आप जब रूम में एंटर होंगे तो उस वक्त आप महसूस करेंगे कि रूम, वो कमरा जो है वो पूरी तरह से रोशन है। आपको उसका हर हिस्सा नजर आएगा, हर हिस्सा, क्योंकि उसकी लाइट से वो रोशन होगा। लेकिन आपको उस रूम में दाखिल होने के बाद वो हीट महसूस नहीं होगी। लाइट होगी, रोशनी होगी, लेकिन हीट महसूस नहीं होगी। अगर आप उस बल्ब के नीचे जाके खड़े हों तो आपको हीट भी महसूस होगी, उसकी लाइट के साथ, रोशनी के साथ हीट भी महसूस होगी। तो इसी तरह से नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर ड्यूरिंग समर सीजन, व्हेन नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर फेसेस द सन, so it has heat and light both. But in case of when sun shine on the southern hemisphere, so the southern hemisphere faces the heat, get the heat and light, but northern hemisphere at this time has light or less heat, because here the sun has oblique sun rays instead of direct. Oblique sun rays the northern hemisphere receive. That is why we have more light and less heat. The next is the study of climatic graph and maps. Students, your 3 faculties in your paper, 3 faculties of learning are checked. What are these 3 learnings? One is knowledge, second understanding, and third is skill. अब ये कैसे पता चलेगा कि नॉलेज क्या है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग किसे कहते हैं और स्किल से क्या मुराद है? तो मैं इसकी मिसाल आपको ऐसे देना चाहूंगा कि आपके पास एक गाड़ी है, आपको एक गाड़ी दी जाती है, आपको मालूम है, आपको नॉलेज है कि गाड़ी कैसे, क्यों इस्तेमाल की जाती है, इसका पर्पस क्या होता है, कि एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाने के लिए इस्तेमाल की जाती है। दिस इज द नॉलेज। व्हाट इज दिस? दिस इज अ कार। किस लिए इस्तेमाल होती है जी? यहां से टू कैरी द पीपल फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर प्लेस। अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या चीज है, कि गाड़ी कैसे चलती है, तो स्टीयरिंग का क्या फंक्शन है, क्लच, गियर लगाने से पहले क्लच को प्रेस करना क्यों जरूरी होता है, क्यों, रीजनिंग आ जाती है। और पानी, इंजन में पानी का होना, इंजन में जो रेडिएटर में पानी का होना क्यों जरूरी है, जब सफर करना है तो क्यों जो है वो कौन कौन सी चीजें सेट करनी चाहिए और क्यों करनी चाहिए, और कैसे जर्नी होगी, हर चीज कैसे काम करेगी, अपना फंक्शन, किस किस चीज का फंक्शन क्या, मुझे ये भी मालूम हो गया। मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्लियर हो गई कि क्यों, क्या क्या चीजें चेक करनी है, क्यों करनी है, और स्टीयरिंग का क्या फंक्शन है, जिससे मोड़ने के लिए होता है, इसको टर्न लेना है मुझे तो स्टीयरिंग इस तरफ लेके जाना है, तो गियर लगाना है तो कैसे लगाना है, और ये चीजें मुझे मालूम हो गई। तो दिस इज माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग। मुझे सब रीजन मालूम हो गई कि ये ऐसे, ये इसलिए होता है, ये ऐसे होता है, इंजन में पानी इसलिए डाला जाता है, ये मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग थी। अब क्या मुझे गाड़ी दे दी जाएगी कि पहली ड्राइव में मैं सीधा इस्लामाबाद निकल जाऊं? नहीं। क्यों? क्योंकि मेरी स्किल्स नहीं है। नाउ इट कम्स टू स्किल। मैं क्या करूंगा उससे? मैं एक मरतबा ड्राइव करके किसी से सीखूंगा, तो मुझे जो है वो थोड़े टाइम के लिए मैं उसको चलाऊंगा, फिर आहिस्ता फिर उसको टाइम को बढ़ाऊंगा, फिर मुझे पता चलेगा कि जी रिवर्स करना प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो फिर मुझे उस पर थोड़ा और फोकस करना पड़ेगा, प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी। जितनी मैं प्रैक्टिस करूंगा उतनी जल्दी मैं इस गाड़ी ड्राइविंग की स्किल को हासिल कर लूंगा और अब मैं आराम से ड्राइव कर पाऊंगा। तो दिस इज द स्किल। इट मीन्स माई पॉइंट इज always the skills comes through practice. So now the part which we are going to discuss about is graph, study of graph, maps, photographs. These actually are related to your skill. तो इसलिए स्किल तभी आएंगी जब आप उसको प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। यहाँ मैं आपको कुछ टिप्स दूंगा कि अगर आप उनको इनकलकेट कर लेते हैं अपने नॉलेज में तो आप बआसानी इसको जल्द सीख जाएंगे, स्किल्स को जल्द सीख जाएंगे। लेकिन आपको फिर भी ये अटेम्प्ट करके अपने टीचर को चेक करवाना होगी जी। तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 इज डिस्क्राइब द मॉनसून रेनफॉल ऑफ मई शोन इन फिगर 1.1। Here is the monsoon rainfall from June to September. How we can attempt this type of question in which we have to describe the study of rainfall? So for this we need to, these are the ingredients, we need to use these ingredients while giving description of rainfall. What are these? Like maximum and minimum rainfall along with its month, amount, and this is optional. Difference in amount, maximum and minimum. You can calculate the maximum amount of rainfall and the minimum amount of rainfall. You can give the difference. This is optional. And pattern. Usually this question is asked for 3 marks and it can be of 4 marks maximum. So here I would try to define how monsoon rainfall of Mari shown in figure. In June, minimum rainfall in the month of June, which is about 160 millimeter. So I have used minimum, month and amount. 3 things. Minimum rainfall in the month of June, which is about 160 millimeter, and then temperature increases and it is the highest amount of rainfall received in the month of July, which is 350 millimeter, suppose, or 340 millimeter. Here it is the maximum amount of rainfall received in the month of July, which is 360 millimeter, and then temperature decreases till September. Remember again, in the minimum amount of rainfall received in the month of June, which is 140 millimeter, and then it increases in the month of July. Here it is maximum, which is 350 millimeter, and then gradually it is decreases. So I have explained the pattern as well. June is the minimum, then it increases where it reaches to its highest and then decreases till September. So there is no need to give the amount of rest of the months. Of all months is not required to give the amounts. And if you have given these points, so your answer is complete. Next is the compare the amount and pattern of rainfall in Lahore and Peshawar during the monsoon season. Here is the monsoon season, June to September. What in comparison, which points you need to consider? What are your ingredients? Number 1, general comparative statement. Look at both and give the general comparative statement. So it can be like number 1, Lahore receives more rain than Peshawar. Number 2, it can be the total amount of rainfall received in Peshawar. You can calculate the total amount is less than 100 or 110 or 120, whatever it may be. So 120 millimeter. But Lahore, there is July is the only month which has more than 200 millimeter of rainfall. So comparative statement, the two statements I have told, look at first generally, give the general statement that where is the more and less, and the second you can give comparison in amount. Next, give the similarity and differences in maximum and minimum rainfall, month, amount and pattern. Similarity. In comparison questions, usually students make this mistake that they don't give the similarity. They think comparison mean only to give differences. Remember, at least one similar thing you need to give. Find out at least one similarity. So it has 1 mark. So similarity and differences may be in the maximum and minimum amount of minimum rainfall in amount or in month and pattern. So here you can see the first two statement I already have explained. Number 2, similarity. Both cities receive minimum rainfall in June. This is one similarity. You can see the June, it is the minimum rainfall. Here is among all these months, the June which receives the minimum amount of rainfall. So you can say this is a similarity that the minimum amount of rainfall received in both cities, the month is same, which is June. And the second, afterward rainfall increases then decreases. You can see afterward rainfall increases then decreases. Here you can see from after June the rainfall increases then decreases. So this is called pattern. There is increase then decrease. There might be fluctuations. There might be a gradual increase. So it depends. This is not the case only to describe the climatic graph. It can be of any type of graph, but the method will remain same. The last, another difference now, differences. Lahore has highest amount of rainfall in July, which is 210 millimeter, whereas Peshawar maximum rain is in the August, which is 55 millimeter. So it means we have given the difference in amount and the months. So we have discussed the and maximum and given the maximum amount. We have find out the amount difference in amount, month and maximum rainfall. Next is the how to describe or study map. If the question is posed, describe the distribution of temperature. It may be of industry, minerals or crops or any other thing if it is given on the map to describe. So here are the few points you need to focus on. Always remember, while describing this type of map, use the physical or human features. Physical features or like topographical features, the natural features, for example, mountains, plains, plateaus, deserts, or in case of it may be Himalayas mountains, Karakoram, Suleiman Range, Hindu Kush, or it may be Potwar Plateau, Balochistan Plateau, Upper Indus Plain, Lower Indus Plain. So these are the topographical features, or you can call them the physical features. So you should use these words in your description. Another, along with the human features like administrative features. For example, provinces, name the province, and if you are pretty sure about the city, so do write the name of city as well. And next, don't forget to write the amount, and the amount always given in the key. From key you should use the amount and use the coordinates like north, south, east, west. It has 1 mark. You have to use north, south, east and west while describing the climatic graph or industrial graph, like sugar mills. They are distributed in all provinces. So where are you have to use the north, south and east, west. Like there further northwest, there are industries in Mardan or Peshawar, etc. So you have to use the north, south, east, west at least for one time. And next is the give the maximum and minimum amount and use these words maximum or minimum, or it may be in another map of population density or population distribution map. So there the cluster or maximum or minimum, or sometimes these similar words are used, or you should use to describe. So here we'll take an example of this climatic map. So you can start from minimum or maximum, from north or from south. This is up to you. So here we shall start from the south, from Sindh. So look, here the temperature is highest in the south, in the lower Sindh, which is 30 to 31 degrees centigrade, and further when we travel towards north or northwest, so temperature gradually decreases. I have used north, south, east and west. So here it was maximum, I have given the maximum and used the amount. Okay, so maximum is in the, and have given the, and have used the human feature, administrative feature like province name. In the lower Sindh, it is, the temperature is maximum, which is 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, and if we go further north or northwest, or temperature decreases. Or you can say further if we go towards north to Punjab or towards northwest to Balochistan, so temperature decreases, gradually decreases. So here you can say gradually decreases, and in the northwest Balochistan, where is Quetta and Chaman, here the temperature is 20 to 21 degree Celsius, and if we further travel towards northern Pakistan, here in the Islamabad or in the northwest Peshawar, they comes in the same region where the temperature is 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, and further north. Here is a significant thing, is an important thing which always we should mention, that here temperature is less than, it's the minimum temperature. So here minimum temperature is in the extreme, in the northern mountains, or you can say in the northern mountains, or the human feature can be used, which are the Gilgit, the areas of Gilgit and Chitral. The city name I have used, but I was sure about these two cities, that is why I have used this the city's name. So in the further north, in the northern mountains, the temperature is 0 degrees centigrade. So note here one thing that I have not used, I have not given that here it was 30, here it get 29, here it was 29 or 28, and further north it get 27, further 24, 26. So you don't need to use all the amounts given in the key, otherwise your description will be complex and difficult to understand. Now I have given the maximum amount of rainfall in the lower Sindh, which is 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, and further if we travel towards north west to Balochistan and further north to Punjab and the northern areas of Pakistan, so temperature gradually decreases. So in the northwest Balochistan, where the temperature is 21 to 21 degrees Celsius, and further if we travel towards northern Punjab to northern Pakistan, so there is Islamabad and Peshawar which have rainfall 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. But further north, physical feature in the northern mountains, they have less than 0 degree Celsius temperature. So this is how you can describe the distribution of anything. It may be of crop, industry, minerals, etc. So you need to focus on these few points and then you can describe. Again, the last time I would like to say, okay, this is called skill, and skill always comes after practice. So this was all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Allah Hafiz.